Hey creator, and welcome back to a new podcast episode. It has been a while. I think it's been a month. I'm not even sure actually how long it's been. But a lot has happened. I've been knitting, I want to say a lot, but also I have been, again, having some wrist issues. So it's the story of my life by now. We go up and down. At the moment, it's there again a bit, but I'm still able to knit a little bit. I'm very careful. I know this is not from knitting. It's something else, but long story short, I have been knitting quite a bit, and as you can see here, I have quite a bit to show you. I have definitely some finished objects, quite a few exciting ones, some really long awaited ones. Yes, I finally finished my mom's gift knit, finally. If you've been here for a long time, you know that this was her last Christmas gift knit. It was the first ever sweater that I knitted, and I finally finished it, but more about that later. I have some few whips that I'm going to show you. I have some things that I haven't touched, so for example my Leon sweater, which I won't be showing, which I hope to be working on quite a bit again the next few weeks. And let me see, I have some really fun Advent things that I want to show you. I got those. We do a friend Advent this year with a few of my offline knitting besties. And yeah, it's a lot of exciting stuff. So get something to drink, something to snack on if you want, and let's get into it. Today I didn't really feel like having a hot drink, so I'm drinking some water, so stay hydrated. Not be like me, because I'm very bad at drinking, but be like me today. Get something to drink. If you're new here, by the way, I am Fem. I am the face behind the Mindful Creators. I am a knitter, and I can also crochet, but I don't really do it that much at the moment. Or not at all, actually. I don't think I have any crochet projects. No, I don't have any crochet projects. I do it here and then, but I did start crochet before I started knitting. I'm definitely obsessed with knitting. I'm also a yarn dyer, and I also have a really fun announcement, by the way. I just didn't say it, but I'm going to announce what the next collection is going to be in this video. So that's really exciting. I also have a really fun community group. So if you're looking for other people, super kind people, we have amazingly kind people in our group to just chat with. Majority of the people in the group are in their mid-end 20s, begin 30s, which I think is really fun. We have a range of ages, so everyone is welcome. But just know that links is below. If you have any questions about it, just let me know. Let's get into some projects, because that's why you're here. The podcast that I do is also a little bit more personal. I just like to show what I'm working on, because for the most part I don't really show what I'm working on Instagram. It's more like the business side of things. So I just really like this moment with you all, just to chat with you. I'm just looking around, by the way. I'm just distracted by by my knits. But yeah, let's get into it. Let me show you my first finished object. Okay, the first one, as I just said, I finally finished my mom's gift knit. A little backstory. I started knitting in July 2022, I think. Yeah, I think July 2022. I started with some really simple things, but I think September was when I really started to get into like patterns and stuff. And that is when I decided to make my mom a sweater for Christmas. Keep in mind, this was my first ever sweater that I was going to be knitting. I was like, yeah, of course, if I start in September, I'll be in time. Oh boy, I was wrong. So I sat down with her. We looked at patterns first, like, oh, by the way, yeah, I think you can hear it. If you hear a siren, we live next to a construction zone. Have been for the last year, will be for the next 2 years. It's very windy outside, so they have like an alarm that goes off, but I just really wanted to film, so I hope it's not too annoying. I hope it's not too noticeable. But if you hear something, that's what you hear, so I'm sorry about that. But I just really wanted to chat with you guys, and this is the only moment that I had. Back to the sweater. So I sat down with her, we looked at patterns, and then looked at yarn, of course, because first I wanted to know what to make for her. I'm a little sniffy out here. Already chaotic in here. If you missed this, welcome back to the chaoticness. We picked the cumulus blouse by Petite Knit. I showed a ton of different patterns, but what she really was set on was a v-neck, because she gets really warm really quickly. Funny thing is, when I was knitting, like full on knitting this, she was like, oh, I do like warmer sweaters now again. So I could have knit like a larger gauge, whatever. But we picked the cumulus blouse by Petite Knit, and she cannot handle itch too much. So instead of, if you know, cumulus blouse is knit with kid silk, 1 or 2 strands, I'm not sure actually. but that was just not an option, not with like the budget. So I would have picked drop skid silk, which can be a little bit itchy for some people, depending on the color, to be honest. For example, Easiger is like top notch, but that's much more expensive. By the way, my mohair is so soft. It has been compared to Easiger mohair, so if you're interested, I made a hat and I can wear it like perfectly fine with mohair. I'm already so rambling. We picked the pattern, we picked the yarn. The yarn that I picked was Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk. This is the color Rust. Don't look at these increases. This sweater has been a year, no, more than a year in the works. My gauge changed a lot over that time, which makes it definitely more difficult for me to, oh, you can see my camera standard here. Yeah, so this is the color Rust. She really wanted some like rusty color. She really loved it. So I'm really happy with that. I think it will look great on her. She already tried it on a few times at the beginning of the year. I don't know if you remember back then, but I was always, when I was making the podcast and I was working on this, like she knew what she was gonna get pattern and color wise, but I was, from that moment I was like, you cannot see it anymore, it's a gift. And then one time I said like, Mom, don't watch it, go to this timestamp. And I got a message after like, oh my god, I love the sweater, it looks so good. And it was like, I literally said to you, don't watch this. So after that I was like, yeah, you're not gonna try it on. So she completely knows what she's getting. But yeah, it is a year later. This yarn combination, I held 2 strands from Brushed Alpaca Silk. Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk was like hell to work with. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. It sticks into each other, which makes it that it's quite nice and sturdy, by the way, or like sturdy. It makes a really, as you can see, really thick and bouncy and soft fabric, but it was hell to work with. I will never do it again. Maybe I will be like, oh, it looks good, but I should remember how much I hated working on this. So didn't like it. That's also one of the reasons. It really hurt my wrists a lot. And yeah, if you know, I just said in the beginning, I have a lot of wrist issues, or get wrist issues really quickly. Not good for me to work on, but it's finally finished. It isn't blocked yet. I literally just finished like an hour ago. I'm gonna block it today. Today it's Thursday, the 21st of December. We are gonna celebrate, like in the Netherlands we have Christmas Eve, first Christmas Day and second Christmas Day. So first Christmas Day will be at their place and we do gifts exchange, and this will be in here. She kind of knows, but also kind of not knows if she's getting it, so that's really fun. I'm gonna tell her not to watch this video if she still watches. I don't think she still watches my video. But yeah, this is it. I'll put up a little video for me wearing it. This is before blocking, keep in mind. I probably will get a video of her wearing it if she wants me to show it. I think she will. So I can show it in next podcast. And I'm really excited for her to have it. She is really excited about it too. I'm gonna be like, okay, you cannot put it in the washer because then it's ruined completely. I think this is a non-super wash. But yeah, it's finally off the needles. Some fun details of this knit is the I-cord edging on the sleeves, on the v-neck, and also on the hem. However, the hem was the first I-cord I ever did. This has been quite a long time ago, so this is the max that it will stretch. But I think she will be fine because it is quite sturdy. You can stretch it quite a bit, as in it can deal with some tension, handle some tension, but it would have been nice if it was a little bit more forgiving. So, however, I think it will be perfect for her. We are almost the same size. Sizing wise, just don't, I cannot really tell you. It was supposed to be a small, then the sleeves turned into an extra small, I think, so I just went with that. So gauge wise is probably very off. Yeah, I can even show you here, for example, this looks so stupid. You can see like the decreases. And then my gauge again got bigger in the middle, and then yeah, it's just all over the place, but I think it's pretty forgiving. You cannot really like read your stitches that well on this fabric. You can kind of, but it's really hard, for example, to find your decreases, so it's also a bit forgiving in that case. So this is finished. She's gonna get it. As I said, hopefully I will have a little video of her trying it on in the next podcast episode. And yeah, I'm just really excited to have this off the needles. This is something that has just been laying like in my, I have a little cart here with all my knitting whips and all my yarn. Like this is all the hand-dyed yarn that I make. That is just all the yarn commercially bought. So yeah, I'm really happy to have it off my needles and in her hands. Secondly, something that has been on my needles for a very long time too. I finished my cardigan. Oh, this is something that has been, as I said, on the needles for a super long time, but I'm really happy to have it finished. I've been wearing it already. It's so soft. So let me tell you more about this. I have never had like 2 big pieces finished in one podcast, I think. Maybe fun to know, in the Mindful Creators Clubhouse, so my community group, as I said, we do a monthly make along, and our December make along is finish it up December, if I'm correct. Yeah, finish it up December, I think. Wrap it up December, finish up something. So we were going to be finishing some things, so just have a little bit of a clean start in the next year. And for me, I was okay, that gift knit needs to be done, but I was finishing this one up first because I started working on it again and I really enjoyed it. So finished this in the first week, finished that one, and next on my list is my boyfriend's zipper sweater that I haven't worked on really the last month. Zipper sweater light, by the way, by Petite Knit. I'm not gonna finish that immediately because I'm like, I just split for sleeves. There are no sleeves on it. I need to do a ton on that one, but I do want him to have it this winter, so definitely gonna put a lot of work in that. Back to this one. This is the home cardigan by Kadri. This is a v-neck cardigan. However, my v-neck is super small. I don't really know how that happened. I think it is normally made, or like the sample that she made is made in snefnuk, so Camaro snefnuk, with some kind of kid silk together. If you have been here for longer, you might know this. I last year, or beginning this year, I'm not sure, I started working on the Arctic Light sweater by Gotova Kika. Beautiful, beautiful sweater. I will put it up here. And I started working on it with Drops Air, which is actually the yarn that isn't here. However, I had just finished the September sweater by Petite Knit in Drops Air, and I realized really quickly that that yarn was not going to keep, like, gonna stay pretty long enough. I didn't know enough about yarn and things. I learned a lot this year about yarn and what would work best and quality and stuff. So I decided when I started wearing the September sweater, I think it was about maybe here on the Arctic Light sweater, I was gonna rip it out, or I couldn't even rip it out, I think, but use the yarn for something else. And I quite quickly found this cardigan, and little backstory again, I have one cardigan in my closet that is, I think, 8 years old or something. It looks disgusting. It's so old. It is completely like felted, and I even ruined it in a wash one time. But it's the only cardigan that I have, and sometimes I really just need a cardigan, like an extra layer. So this was something just really a need, actually, because I could never really find a cardigan in store that I really liked. When I found this one, I thought, okay, this is perfect for the yarn. And I really like it. So again, I will put a little video. This is blocked and everything, like completely finished. So let me tell you a little bit more. As I said, the yarn is Drops Air, hold together with Drops Kid Silk. Drops Air in Pearl Grey, if I'm correct. It's this really beautiful white kind of gray color. And it has some variation, or variation? Oh, you can already see it pilling a little bit. I've worn it in sweater. I've been on my bike with it and everything. Those two colors together, those two yarns together, the mohair is Drops Kid Silk in the color Chalk, and I've used that before for my Monday sweater, and it doesn't really itch for me. So that is when I decided, okay, I can definitely put this together. I think I have it here still, just a little bit. I think I have 2 balls left of the Drops Air, but here you can see it a bit, what kind of yarn it is. It's really, really nice. It's like, it's a blown yarn, so chain up blown yarn. It's super, 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 super soft. It's my September sweater. It's not looking the most pretty anymore. I feel like it's not like a, for example, I would go to work and I would put on that sweater, but it's so soft. And I was like, okay, for a cardigan, this will probably hold up a little better, definitely with mohair together. So yeah, it's a really nice drop shoulder pattern, as you can see here. You just, I think I started on the back and then you pick up for the shoulders, or like, yeah, you can see you can see a little bit of a line there, and then eventually arms there. My size, again, this was one of those, this is the first cardigan I ever made. I started it, I think, in March of this year. Things could have been a little better. I was a little bit hesitant on the size. I was like, okay, I only need the smallest size. I mostly make the smallest size for most things. I don't like a ton of positive ease. I think it makes, I think it doesn't fit my figure the best, but I do like some oversized sweaters. This one, I was a little afraid that it would be a little too small, but I think with blocking, it definitely did a good bit for it to make it like snuggly and cozy, but not too oversized for what I like. So yeah, this cardigan has a ribbed button band, which I quite enjoyed to make actually. It was quite fun. It was the first time I did that. And I will just hold it upside down for now so you can see the buttons that I put on it. These are just from my local, yeah, how you call it, notion store, button store. They sell like buttons, thread, a little bit of yarn, but mostly acrylic, so I never got in any yarn. Just like all those tiny little bits that you could need for finishing a project, sewing, knitting, anything related. These are really nice. I was a little hesitant. My god, I took like 45 minutes to pick out some buttons. I was like so overwhelmed. There are so many buttons there. And when I got these, I was like, okay, I think these will look pretty nice. I took my swatch with me. But when I got home, I thought that they might be a little too dark. But I do like them now. And I just like the weight that they have. For example, these are not plastic buttons. These are quite sturdy. I don't know what material they are. I hope it's gonna focus a little bit better. Yeah, they are shiny. I like shiny buttons, I guess. I realized. That's it. It's not the prettiest gauge wise, but I think it looks really nice. It's super soft. Did I already show you the video of me trying it on? I think I did. Otherwise, I will put it up again. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It is quite cropped, which I did on purpose. Kinda on purpose. It should have been a little bit longer. Just a tiny bit. The sleeves, however, grew to the perfect size for after blocking. So that was really nice. Let me just take a sip of water, by the way, because I'm already talking quite a lot. I hear the alarm. I kind of still hear it, but also don't hear it anymore. I really hope it's not too annoying. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but I think it will. Okay, my last finished object is actually something for my boyfriend. So 2 of my finished objects are gifts. This is number 3. I think it is it dry? No, not completely dry. For my boyfriend's birthday, which was in March of this year. Oh, it feels like I've made those socks so like earlier, or as in later in the year. I made my boyfriend some socks. Just actually, how do I say it? I made them without him knowing. So a secret sock gift. Oh my god, I see that days are so much longer. Okay. There's a bit of a story behind this. So I made him socks in the Paddy Harbor socks, by the way. I will show it to you because I'm making the same kind of socks now. Completely the same with a little mistake. So not completely the same. I made the Paddy Harbor socks by Raina Curtis. I can put a picture up, by the way, of the other pair. They are in Lana Grossa Mile Wide Merino hand-dyed gem. It's a mouthful. In the color, I have no idea. It's green with gray. It's a fade yarn, which I didn't realize when I bought it, but now I don't mind because they are nice for these socks. And it goes from gray to green, if I'm correct. Yeah, you can see it in the picture. I think it was green, or I put the green part up, I think. He loves those socks. That's what I want to say. He loves those socks to death. He wears them to death, literally. He wears them every time he's at home, as in, for example, in the weekend, or if he works from home, sometimes he does that. Now he has also started to wear them in his shoes, which he didn't do before. They were really at-home socks. So I was like, okay, if he really is going to wear them in his shoes too, he needs another pair. He has 1 pair, mind you. So I already started working on another pair quite a little while ago. I think maybe around the summer. I'm not even sure. Maybe earlier even. I think maybe even immediately after I made that first pair. I put it aside. Other things that I was more excited about working on was like, definitely in the summer. I remember he is not gonna wear those in summer, so just gonna push it to the fall winter season. So I made these socks and he doesn't know yet that I finished them because I'm gonna put them underneath our Christmas tree. We also do gifts for each other on Christmas Eve. We like to do our together time, together Christmas time. We make some nice dinner, watch a Christmas movie, and unwrap gifts for each other, for ourselves from each other. So I made these socks and I finished the first sock maybe a month ago or something. I think I finished this while I was in Copenhagen, or just back from Copenhagen. Okay, the alarm is going. I just have to go on now. Otherwise it's not gonna work. However, I was in a call with the Clubhouse. We do weekly calls and it was a craft and chat. Just a really casual call where we're just catching up and knitting together or crocheting. And I realized that the other sock I was at the toe, yeah, I realized that I made this wrong one. The one I already finished and blocked and everything. I made it wrong. What is actually supposed to happen is that in the half of the foot that there's just stockinette. And I just worked on the pattern like completely around. So I don't know how that happened. But what I had to do is rip out the second sock until the heel, until like the end of the heel, and it made a gap and I didn't really know how to fix it yet. So I was like, you're going in timeout. So if something is not working with a gift knit or with a gift, no, if something is not working with a knit, I'll put it in timeout, and who knows for how long. Could be a day, could be a week, could be a half a year. So I finally picked it up again because he started wearing those socks in his shoes. I was like, he needs another pair, and he doesn't know that I'm making these or finishing him for Christmas. I did this when he was not at home. So I think he's gonna be really surprised. And the fun thing is the first pair is also a surprise pair. I now also finished the second sock and I think it's dry. I put it down to block yesterday. I finished it yesterday while dyeing yarn. I had some moments in between that I had to wait. So I was like, okay, I'm knitting on this. I only had to do like a little bit of the foot yet. At the leg, no, sorry. The foot and then the toe. I did the foot already a few days ago. I do notice that this is the same dye bath, but yeah, it's not really the same. So this one is definitely darker, this one isn't, but I know he won't mind, so that's good. Another thing, let me see, which one is I think the darkest one is the oldest one, yeah. I did notice that I made this one a little too small. I was working on the first one, that's it. Yeah, I was working on the first one in Copenhagen. I know I still haven't made the vlog. I haven't had time, I'm sorry. Maybe one day it will go up. I was in Copenhagen with friends of mine, knitting friends, in November. Yeah, October I think. Yeah, October. So I didn't have the other sock with me to work on. And I counted from a picture, but I counted one repeat too little. So now I'm putting them on top of each other, and I kind of did it on purpose that the other sock is a little longer, so I can take this one out if it needs to happen. But I was like, I can give you two socks that are a little bit too tight, or just one that is better and the other one I can fix maybe. Maybe it's good, I don't know. This is not a pretty pair of socks if you look at the details, so don't. Yeah, it's definitely a little longer, quite a bit longer actually. I don't think I'm putting it right yet. It's also a little bigger. I don't know how that happened, maybe gauge. We'll have to see if I need to fix this one, if I need to rip it out and make a few more rounds. I don't know if that needs to happen. But yeah, these are going to go under the tree, be wrapped up and then under the tree. And then he has a pair of socks, and I know he loves them. These are actually fingering weight, but they look quite thick. The pattern is really fun. I didn't really show it actually. It's a little hard to see in this yarn, but it's a broken rib stitch. Do I say it correctly? Yeah. So it's a free pattern, by the way, and it has a repeat of 4 rows, which is really easy to memorize. So these are quite mindless for me. Yeah. And I just know he's gonna love them. So that's fun. He has another pair to wear. And actually, fun thing, I don't know if I said this last time. I'm not sure. My friend Claudia, who is also here on YouTube, which just reached 1,000 subscribers. So cool. So subscribe to her, definitely. She's really fun to watch. She was clearing out because she's moving, and she had some of this yarn too, because I kind of influenced her when I bought this. And I have 2 more skeins of the gray one for another pair for my boyfriend Wouter. That was also, he was like, do you need some more yarn for Wouter his socks? I was like, yeah, I would always love it. It's always welcome. So, and I have more yarn for other socks, but I'm probably gonna make some vanilla socks or just another pattern just to switch things up. I also got some more yarn from her, I just realized, but I'm gonna show that in the acquisitions part. These are finished. These are going in here. And then let's go into some whips. I have 3 whips that I'm now working on. One is almost finished, one I have to fix some things, and one I have been working on like crazy. Mostly I only have I have 4 whips actually, 4 whips. Mostly I only have a lot of whips and not so many finished projects, but I've been working on all these things and I finished just a few of these. Okay, in between I'm sometimes stopping for the alarm, but we are, for the most of it, we're gonna work through it. When I was in Copenhagen, I bought quite a bit of yarn, and if you have seen my podcast, I don't know which one it was, I will put it up there. I think it might be number 19 or maybe even 20, the last one maybe. I bought some yarn. Do I have a skein here with like a label? No, I don't. It's Camarose, of Camarose, I don't really know how it's pronounced, it's Danish. Camarose? I don't know. In Lama Ult, so it's llama, yarn and wool, a mix of llama and wool. And I already told you that I want to make a scarf and some mittens, and I started on both of them, so I'm gonna show you the scarf in a second too. Mittens, I finished one and I'm almost done with the second one. These are the world's simplest mittens by Tin Can Knits, and these are so fun to work on. They are so fun to work up. I'll just put it on for you. They are really well fitting. I didn't expect that. I once crocheted a mitten, it was definitely not good fitting, but I really could adjust it to make it fit perfectly for me. These are really long and small, but they are perfect for my hands. I think I'm working with a worsted weight yarn. However, I do feel like it's more of a heavy DK, but this is the same yarn in another color. It's nice and fluffy. I did follow the instructions for like a worsted with like my hand size, and I think that was a medium or something. It fits perfectly. So I made the cuff, made it a little longer here because I think it's really nice to just have the cuff really long underneath your jacket or your sweater or something like that. And I did have to work a part of the thumb a little bit longer, so I guess I have long hands, I'm not sure. I don't have big hands actually. So maybe it's just because, it's probably because I made a little bit more space here on the mitten, but I like it like that because you start the increases quite soon. I'll put it off in a second so you can see it better, but it's really pretty. So I worked a little bit longer on this part here between the thumb and the rest of your hands, and then the hands, I didn't block these yet. The thumb fits like perfectly. I don't know if you can see it. It's like there's no gaping at all. It's not too tight, it's not too loose. I'm really happy with these. These turned out so nice. I think they're really lovely. By the way, this yarn, I bought this in a sale at, I don't remember the name of the store. Might pop up a little video. Oh no, I didn't think I filmed there. It was a really lovely store. They had some really cool stuff there. And they actually had a sale going on in like the alleyway next to their store. We were just joking every time about it with the friends, like, oh, we bought some yarn in the alley. Like they lured us in a dark alley to buy yarn on sale. It was a really good sale though. So yeah, I'm having 50 gram balls, 30 gram skeins, and this takes just a little bit over 25 grams. So if you make it a little shorter, if you have a little bit smaller hands, and as I said, I made this. This part is still on my like wrist. If you make it shorter, then you'll be good with like one skein of 50 grams. And I think in the sale they cost like 3 or 4 euros. So I have like a pair of mittens for like 4 euros material wise. That's crazy, and it's really nice. So it's a little bit itchy though. I hope it will wear off with like maybe blocking or just wearing. So yeah, that's number 1. Number 2 is on the needles. I'll be able to finish this really quickly. I made this one in 3.5 hours. So I know I'll be able to finish this quickly. And these are probably not going to be for me anymore. Because I took them to my parents. We were there I don't even remember why. I think it was spontaneous. And I was knitting on this. I brought those with me. I let my mom try it on. I didn't even think it would fit her. I thought her hands were longer or something, but they fit perfectly. She works in the hospital and rides her bike to work a lot of times early in the morning because she also has morning shifts. And she was like, oh, these are so nice. I would love some of those. So I was like, I think I'm losing my mittens. So I am planning on gifting these to her with Christmas too. I'll be able to work on this enough to finish them, I'm pretty sure. As I said, I made that other pair in 3.5 hours, which was tempo knitting, by the way. It was intense. I was obsessed. So I'll be good. And this is just a really fun color. I think this color was called Sand, which is an undyed yarn. I also showed you the other one. This is another color, also undyed. So it's really, really pretty. Nice and rustic. It feels quite soft in the skein. It definitely is a little bit more itchy on your hand, but that's mostly because of the long hairs, like the long llama hairs. I'm not sure if you're able to, oh yeah, you're able to see it a little bit. But I think it will be fine eventually. And they are super warm. Very warm. Then, in that same yarn, did I say everything about it, by the way? I said yarn, pattern. It's a pattern by Tin Can Knits. I don't know if I said that. It's a free pattern. I always link my Ravelry like full page below, where you can find all my projects. So you can click in them and see like the name of the designer, pattern, everything. You can always find it in there. So it's a really easy way to see what you want to know. For most patterns I also put in how much yarn I used. If I don't know, for example with the cardigan, I have no idea. Also with the cumulus blouse, I also have no idea. But most of the time, if I know, I will put it in. Second project with the same yarn, which I kind of want to make like into a set, is the Sophie shawl. So if you have been following, when I bought this yarn, I said I wanted to make a scarf with it, but I wasn't set completely on what. I made sure to get enough yarn. I got 4 skeins of the 2 colors. So I have this really beautiful green color, which I actually have laying here. I'm not sure what the name is called. I'll put it in my Ravelry. You can find it there. This is really beautiful green. Is it like a warm green? I have a warm light on me, like a yellow light, so it might look warmer. Hello, please focus. Warmer than it is, but it is really nice, like a mossy forest green. And I got 4 skeins of those and 4 skeins of like a contrast color because I wanted to have the green like fully, but they only had 4 skeins of that green because it was a seal. So I had to take another color. Oh, I'm in the middle of a row. Let me just fix that quickly. Okay, this is better. I'm not in the middle of a row anymore. So this is the Sophie shawl by Petite Knit. As I said, I wasn't set on a pattern when I bought this yarn. I just knew that I wanted to do something with 2 colors. I had been looking around, but for some things I didn't have enough yarn and some things I didn't really like, and then it wasn't fitting with gauge. And I was watching Danish Musings. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it's a really fun podcaster here on YouTube. I love her videos. I think they're so calming and comforting, and I really recommend watching her videos if that's something that you enjoy. And she made a Sophie shawl and it looked so nice and comfy and fluffy and big. And I have seen Sophie shawls in real life because 3 of my friends, we all have a Sophie shawl now, apparently. It's popular. They made it, but they made it in a little bit of a lighter weight yarn. I know 1 or 2 of them has made it in a cotton blend. And it felt like it wasn't warm enough for me because I do like a big scarf. It doesn't get super cold here, but I do really like to have my neck warm. I also don't really wear, my jackets don't really have like a hood or something or like a big collar, so it's also necessary. So yeah, I saw her video and I was like, you know what? I could maybe do like a 2-colored Sophie shawl. So like split it completely in the middle and then switch to another color. So that is what I did. This is so addictive. I've been really, you haven't seen it yet, but there's another shawl sample that I'm making for the handwerkbeurs, the craft fair that I'm going to be at with my hand-dyed yarn, which I will show after this. You're not gonna see the color though. We have a little trick for that. You can't see it because it's for the new collection. But I really have been really enjoying mindless knits, or a little bit mindful knits even, if you will. Just some really simple, comforting knits, and this is definitely one of those. I think this is four days of work, maybe 5. And it is huge. So I will show you from top to bottom. So I have split at the middle, as you can see. I'm really enjoying how this split. I feel like I had something in my teeth. I hope I didn't. If I did, I'm sorry. Yeah, it looks a little funky now because of course I'm holding it up, but it has this point at the end. On one side it is flat, the other side you increase. And I'm so sorry about the alarms. I don't know if I think I'm pretty sure you can hear it. But yeah, I switched the color to this natural undyed color. I'm not sure what the name is. Again, you can find it in my Ravelry below. And this is how far I got. So I'm making the biggest size, and I'm making the 60. It's a big size. I'm not gonna give too much away. It's a really simple pattern already, so I'm afraid I'm gonna give too much away. These markers are in for like the way I'm counting it, and I'm actually using a counter from Knit Pearl. No, Knit Pearl. What do I say? Knit Pro. I don't know where that came from. It's Knit Pro, and this is one of my advent gifts that I got, so I'll show that also later with the rest. But it's been really helpful. I've made like a little way of how I now like to do it. So yeah, this is the wrong side. As you can see the switching of the color here. This is the right side. It's quite a neat color switch, which I really enjoy. It's really satisfying, and it's a huge scarf. Yeah, it's a little hard to show like this, but I do think this color kind of suits me, and it will just switch to another color to the other side. As I said, it's a little bit itchy. It's a little rustic. Your girl doesn't always love something that's too rustic. So I'm not super sensitive for itch, but I am definitely a little bit sensitive for itch. But yeah, this is, I think it will be doable. It's just a case of you have to put it on and get used to it a little bit, and then it will be fine, I hope. This will probably be one of my like Christmas Day knitting, because I always like to bring something with me. My in-laws always know it. They were like, oh, what did you bring this time? Which is really fun. They really are accepting of me knitting and very enthusiastic about it. So that's really, really fun. Same with my parents. They're like, oh, you have knitting with you. Yeah, of course, absolutely. So I will be bringing this with me because I really wanted to just only work on this, but I had to finish my mom's gift knit. I feel like I did something with my hair. I will just fix it in a second. It's nice. It's really fun to knit. I didn't think I would find it enjoyable enough. So it's a simple knit, but it's still engaging somehow. And I didn't expect that. So I'm really enjoying it. If you're thinking about making one, definitely do it. It's a really good staple, I think. It's an easy pattern. I have heard that maybe if you already have the Sophie shawl, no, Sophie scarf, the tiny one, that you can probably make this too, but just increase a lot more. I'm just quickly gonna do my hair at the same time. So if you already have that one, you probably don't have to buy the bigger pattern. Just increase a lot more. Yeah, and there we go. So yeah, it's really fun, it's really nice. And I really enjoy it. Let's take a little sip of water again. Okay, something changed in the way everything looks. My battery died, so I had to go charge it. And I also already made the video of me trying on the cumulus blouse, so I always do those after. Most of the time do those after. Where did we stay? I think I was going to show you the new whip. Most of these are new whips for you actually, in one of the colors of my new collection. But I'm not going to show you the color yet. So we're going to do a little trick. We're now black and white. Now I can just show you the color. I won't talk about what the color is, but it's so beautiful and you will love it. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm actually making this in one of the new bases, and I will show you the base in a second after when we have light again, or as in when it's not black and white again, because it's so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I will show you an undyed version. The new base, yeah, I will tell you a little bit later, but it is an alpaca. No, I'm going to tell you now. That makes more sense. It is a we're just in color again. This is chaotic. I don't know what I'm doing, as most of us. So you can see a little video of what the color looks like or what the yarn looks like. This is the new base, and it's called Heavenly Alpaca, and it is made of 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, yeah, and 10% cashmere. And you can probably already imagine what this feels like, but it is the softest thing that I think this is one of the softest yarns I've ever felt. Maybe Cardiff Cashmere is a little bit softer, but this comes close, to be honest. I think it's gorgeous. It's so good. It definitely has a luxe feel to it. It's just beautiful. So let me just show you what I'm making. As I said, I'm not going to show you the color yet because you will see it later, and we'll tell you a little bit more about the new collection and everything. I am working on the I'm gonna look it up because I'm not 100% sure on the name. I just put it down. It's the Age and Brass and Steam. It is the Age of Brass and Steam kerchief by Orange Flower Yarn. I was close, kind of. And this is what I got so far. It's on a too short cable, so it's quite hard to show you. But this is a little shawl. Well, you can make it little, you can make it a little bit bigger. It is just really simple. It's made out of, yeah, you can see stockinette and then some eyelet stitches detail. This will block out really nicely. And yeah, you can really see I'm working knit and purl rows. If you have been following for longer, you know I'm not a big fan of purling, but I think I'm warming up to it a little bit. And I don't know, I'm making this on 3.5mm needles, and somehow the small needles make it easier to purl, like full rows, because this is quite a lot of stitches right now. You can see it here, it's quite bunched on the needle. There are quite a lot of stitches on here, and the rows definitely take me quite some time. This pattern is actually made for DK yarn. I'm making it in fingering weight because the new base is fingering weight. I'm pretty sure it's just a 100 gram 400 meters base. I think it was just 400 meters, yeah. What I've been doing is I just cast it on, I think it's, yeah, you start, it's a free pattern by the way. You just start in the beginning here and you are going to be increasing along this line. So you can just make it as small, as big as you want. And you can actually make it with any yarn that you would like. But the original one is made in DK. But I've seen people made it in fingering weight too. Other yarn weights, so that's definitely possible. This color, as I said, I can't tell you too much yet, but it's so beautiful. Fun fact, this yarn is actually a non-superwash. So we have another non-superwash in the shop. No, I didn't realize this when I bought this yarn. The bear skeins to dye up, and I realized it when I got it at home. So I was a little scared about dyeing this up, because if you're new to, or if you don't know much about yarn dyeing, I dye mostly with with superwash yarn. Yeah, mostly with superwash yarn. However, my mohair and Surrey are non-superwash, and now this is also non-superwash. Why I chose to do superwash is because it's just a little easier to dye. The colors are a little bit brighter most of the time, just a little bit more there, you know. And I was just a little scared of non-superwash, to be honest, because it can felt pretty quickly. With superwash, there's a specific treatment done to make the yarn more resistant to heat and friction and everything. You can learn more about it. It's quite interesting. It's not as bad as you would think. As I know from my supplier, by the way. They are really open about where they get their yarn from and everything. So I'm pretty comfortable. I was pretty comfortable with ordering from them. And also their superwash yarn and everything. Also all their yarn is listing free, which was really important to me too. But yeah, I got it in and realized it was enough for the superwash, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this. Kind of. Also, I was like really quickly like, we're gonna try it, and it went really well actually. That's something I can tell. This color is actually supposed to be a solid, but I do realize that my solids dye up more like semi-solids, more like tonals even. I don't know if you can see that with the black and white, but you see some color variation, and I really like that actually. So yeah. It's really nice and soft. I am making this to bring with me to the Handwerkbeurs in Houten. So this is a Dutch craft fair. This is the first time I'm going to be selling with my yarn at the craft fair. And I'm really, really excited. I've definitely been working a lot for it, or on it actually, preparing a lot. So I've been dyeing a ton of yarn. I still have 4 pens out of sight that I have to wash and hang up to dry. I think I have about 20 more pens to dye up. Maybe a little less, because this is a fun fact. So let me tell a little bit more about the fair. Let me put this away so I cannot show you anymore. Just the last thing that you can see. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's so soft. The reason why I wanted to make this, because it is a new base and I'm going to the fair, I want to have a sample there so you can feel it, because you really just need to feel this yarn. I've let many people feel it already, like my parents, my boyfriend, even the people from one of the dogs at Dog City was like, like that was literally his reaction. And yeah, everyone is just like, oh my god, this is so soft. And I also let my knitting friends, like my offline knitting friends, feel it, like the project that I'm working on, and she was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So yeah, it's worth the hype, I would say. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than the others, because yeah, the base is more expensive to buy for me, so I just calculated that and made it that price. You will see it later when the collection goes up. It's just so beautiful. I'm a little bummed that I didn't buy the DK one, because I would just love to make the sweater with this, but I'm not gonna make a sweater with lonely fingering weight. Maybe you could hold a double if you want, but I can imagine that's quite expensive to do. It's gorgeous yarn. It's definitely for a special project. What I just showed you is about 40 grams of yarn still, so you can make like a big shawl of 100 grams of yarn. So keep that in mind. It's definitely worth a spot in your stash. I have one more whip, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the new collection. Let me just do that so we can wrap up the whip part and then talk about the new collection. Yeah. Okay, one last whip I was working on, haven't really picked it up a lot, and I will tell you why. This is actually the sock set. I think I've showed this last time, maybe the one before. The sock set collab I did with the Yarn Edit Co, Lauren from the Yarn Edit Co. She's a great person. She was a guest speaker in the Mindful Creators Clubhouse. We have a monthly guest speaker. She was for November. Tony Lipsy was for December, and we have a guest speaker every month. Really fun people, really excited about that as always. I am now working, or I haven't really been actively working on it the last 2 weeks or something, but I know I cast this on in between since last podcast. This is actually the sock set that I dyed up. And to be honest, well, for the people that were in the call, you know I hated it when I was doing it. As in, I hated the color that I was creating. It wasn't going to plan, and just drama. But I have been really loving it, and look how cool this is. I think this is so fun, so I dyed this. How fun. It has a ton of different colors. It was inspired by flower shops. Well, I think that really speaks for itself. I paired it with a mini from Periwinkle Blue. It looks a lot more purple with this color together, and I think it's really beautiful. The reason why I haven't picked it up yet a lot, I'm just making a vanilla sock. I wanted to make like a long leg, a tall leg, and I was like, okay, let me just make a slip stitch heel, but I'm doing it alternating, so it creates kind of like a diamond pattern, which I think is really cool. However, I think I made it too long, because it's definitely, this sock is way too big on me. I think for me personally, socks with a shadow wrap heel or like a German short row heel are best fitting for me. I feel like these are not the best fitting, or it should have just been a lot smaller actually. So yeah, this is definitely too big, but I'm still gonna finish it, because I am actually going to also show this on the handwerkbeurs, because I'm gonna bring a few of these sock sets with me. Look, this is everything I already got out of here. I think maybe I've used 20 grams, maybe a little bit more, I don't know. So yeah, that's really fun. Let's get into some chatting about the new collection. I really need to get a new battery because it died again. I charged it for a bit, and let's see how far we get. What I was going to say is that we are going to dive into the new collection, or at least a little bit of a sneak peek of what the new collection is about. And I'm really excited to tell you this, because this idea came of a show that I've been watching. I finished it about a month ago, I think already, maybe a little longer even. And you might guess what it is. I'm not sure if you guessed it, but it is a show that I mentioned on here. So the collection is called Only Yarn in the Building, and it is inspired by the series Only Murders in the Building. I'm not gonna talk too much about the official show, because I'm not sure how, I cannot link too much probably copyright wise, but this is just an interpretation of some the characters, and I'm not copying anything, you know, so that's maybe also good to keep in mind also for myself. You always have to be super careful with those things. But yeah, I'm so excited about this. This collection consists of 8 colors, which is quite a bit more than I've done before. My first collection was 5, the next one was 6, I think, and this one 8, and I have a ton of beautiful tonals, semi-solids, also a few variegated ones, not a ton, I have 8, but they are very wearable. So I have a few tonals, so some variegated tonals, then some semi-solids that are also a little bit like tonals. As I said, some of the semi-solids dyed a little bit like tonal kind of wise. I don't know how to explain it. And I do also have a crazy color, and you might guess which one it is, because it's a quite iconic thing in season 1, but mostly the whole show. And that one is so gorgeous. I cannot wait to show you all the things. I don't know if I already popped it up, but you can see a little bit of the idea of colors. I definitely dove into the jewel tones here, and that is super different from what I've done. But I'd like to just, I'm still in my first half year of dyeing yarn. I started in July, first launch in August. So yeah, it's just, I'm playing with yarn so much and I love it. And I think you're gonna love these colors too. They are really nice, some really rich, deep colors. Some blues, some greens, some other colors in there. It's a really fun palette, and it's definitely different than I've done before, but I think it's super wearable. So what I said before, I just think it's so important that, for example, I love crazy colors too. Look here, I have quite some bright colors in here. But I think making them a solid or a tonal, semi-solid or a tonal, makes it also so much more wearable, which is so much fun because tastes differ, of course. But I think for me, like a super intensely variegated color, maybe if I can tone it down with like a mohair or the different way around, I have the mohair to be the intense color and then a solid color next to it, it will be more wearable. But I think it's just nice if you can just pick it out of the closet every single day, for example. So yeah, I'm super excited. I've been dyeing up a storm. I can't wait to show you what I've been dyeing up. I will be announcing the collection. I have to set the official date still, but I think the first week of January I will start. The yarn show, as I said, the craft fair show, is the 11th till the 14th of January. And I will be taking the collection with me. So that is why I'm dyeing up so much, because the first collection I dyed everything up on Sophie stock, flowy fingering and bouncy decay, because those were the only 3 bases that I had by then. I just sold it as, okay, this is what I have, this is what you can buy. Second collection I did pre-order, and I only dyed it up on, well, not only, I dyed it up on flowy fingering and also some of the fluffs, because Surrey, Soothing Surrey and Mystical Mohair were new. But this time, since I'm going to the fair, I'm able to dye it up on all the bases. So I have 8 colors, they are all dyed up on 6 bases, so you'll be able to see what the color looks like on every single base. It is definitely very costly. This is not something that I'm probably able to do every single time. I don't even know the number on top of my head, but I'm going into the thousands of euros probably to dye up this collection only on the base, not knowing if I will sell. But since I'm going to the fair, I need a lot of yarn with me, so I'm taking the whole collection with me. So if you're in the Netherlands and you're going to meet me there, definitely take a look for that collection. I will have probably only dyed up 1 pen per color per base, so if something isn't there, like if you're going to the fair and I don't have enough of it, you can just pre-order, because we will have a pre-order again. That one probably will go up when the fair is also live, but I have to see how that goes, because it's 2 things at the same time. I just have to put in the dates like officially. I'm sometimes a little bit things on the last minute, but yeah, it's the collection. I am super excited. I cannot wait to hear what you think of it. Let me please know below if this is, if you've watched the show, if you maybe want to watch the show from now on, because it's really fun. It's just a good time. It's just a comfort show. It has comedy. I've talked about this before. It is about a group of people that live in the same building, and they witness, or in their building a murder takes place. However, they're all big fans of true crime podcasts, so they decide to dive into what happened and make their own true crime podcast. So that's kind of the base of it. And a lot of things happen. There are 3 seasons out. I know they're working on the 4th season, which I can't wait to see. And yeah, I made 8 colors. I tried to focus mostly on the main characters. It's just gonna be really good. It's really exciting. I'm really excited for it. So let me know what you think of it and if you like the idea. And yeah, more will be announced, and probably the first week of January I will be starting reveals, because I have 8 colors. So a week of showing reveals is not enough. I need some more time, so I think that will be a good time to start. But yeah, you'll see more about it later. What else can I show you? Oh, maybe something about what I want to cast on, because I have a few ideas. Mostly because I want to start a sample for the fair too. I'm not going to be able to finish that because I want to make a sweater, but I want to start something. I am going to get my iPad out just so I have the name of the designer and the pattern here with me. And let me see. So I have 2 patterns in mind, and one of them is the Fairy Bouquet by Joanna Ang. I think it's beautiful. I was just searching, I don't know how I came up on this. I had never heard of the designer also. I think it's a really beautiful pattern. It's called Fairy Bouquet. I think that says enough. It feels whimsical, it feels soft. I really love the color that she made it in. I won't have such a soft color in the collection. They're pretty bright colors, but still like deep, rich colors. But I have something in mind for it. So I might want to cast on that one. I'm just figuring out which color I want to do, because I love the color that I made that other sample in, but I want to take another of one of the colors, of course, for a sample. Which I probably will start, and I hope to be able to get to like splitting for sleeves. Then be able to take it with me so people can just see another color, and also for pictures for the reveals and everything. However, I was looking into her pattern and she has another one. I just only put down Helia. I think it's only called Helia. I will put it up here. Also by Joanna Ang, and I love this one. However, the sleeves, as you might see, I think it is twisted rib, I'm pretty sure, and I'm not sure if my wrists are able to manage that. It's gorgeous though. I love the fit maybe even more of that one. So I'm still doubting a little bit if I want to put myself into that. So that's maybe what I want to cast on. For the rest, yeah, maybe. So I started these socks. I just put them also here. So I completely bundled this up. A little while ago when I was at my local yarn store, when I say craft store, but I mean yarn store, they had a bit of a sale. And I picked up one skein. I think it is Scheenmeier, but I'm not sure. Or Schachenmeier, if I want to try to do it in German. I'm truly not sure. It's some really nice yarn, stock yarn. And I started a sock with it. Okay, wow, that had a time to focus. It is like this salmon pink, but it has some specks of yellow, orange here. You can see it in the toe pretty well. I started this sock, a taupe sock, but I'm just probably in the mood for a little bit more of a vanilla sock. This one is fun. Maybe I will pick it up again, but this, it's really beautiful though. It's from 52 Weeks of Socks. Not sure on top of my head which one it is. I'll put it in the screen. But it definitely has a lot of cables and stuff, and I have made a few textured socks now. I might even, I'm saying that, but I might want to do the Hermione Everyday socks. Or yeah, probably something like that. Jasmijn, my friend, just made them in, oh my god, what is it called again? I don't remember. It's like a sturdier sock yarn. So yeah, I might want to make something like that. It's a beautiful yarn. I have it laying here and it just needs to get some use. So that's maybe something I will cast on. Maybe that will be like a Christmas cast on. It's easy to bring with me. Acquisitions. I don't have a ton of acquisitions. I didn't buy anything myself. I got some things gifted from friends. So at first, for example, I have been doing a, what did I call it again? Advent swap. We are doing an advent swap. We are almost at the end. I have one more gift to unpack, but let me just show you what I got because it's really cute. So we are with voor in our offline knitting group. It's really nice and cozy. We have just gotten so close together. I'm really happy that I met them. It's a really nice, fun, like not work related group for me, so that's also really nice. First advent, I'm pretty sure I got this knitting comb from Sastre & Grene. Is it going to focus? Yeah, so you can just shave your knits with it. I'm still a little scared of it. I do have a shaver, electric shaver. And one of these Ucolan lanolin enriched laundry concentrate, so like wool wash. I got a few. I think I'm just going to show you like everything, because I'm not sure again what I got each day. So I got 3 of them. I already used 1 of them for the cardigan. That was the grapefruit one. And I also have these 2. So I think it was jasmine and eucalyptus. These are really nice. I've never used it before, so I'm really excited about that. I've used that one. The scent wasn't really like strong, but it was nice. I also got this lip balm, cinnamon blossom. It says it's made of 99% natural origin, and it consists of lanolin, aroma, it says, yeah, some other things, but mostly lanolin. And it's from the Noordkroon, from Texel. It's an island here in the Netherlands, in the north of the Netherlands. I hope this will want to focus. It's a really nice small tin. I haven't used it too much because it's quite thick, but it's nice. Then, as I showed you, I got the Knit Pro counter. I do have one counter, but I've been really enjoying this one. It came in super handy. It is already stuck. If I want to do like go past the 9, it's stuck. But yeah. Last week I got this super sweet gift. This one was for last week. So we did like 4 smaller things, and then the 4th week is yarn. So really excited about that. I already could feel a little bit that last week was probably like a photo. How do you call that? Like, I'm not gonna show you. It's like a photo thing. And I thought it would be a photo from a picture from our Copenhagen trip, because the tag on it said "say cheese." But this is so cute. Look, guys. She got this made from someone on Etsy, or how do I say it? She let someone on Etsy make this. And if you recognize it, I'll put it here. It's a picture from my first collection reveal. This is so nice. I didn't expect it at all. We were meeting together on Sunday, and we opened them up on Sunday, so everyone brought their advent. And I didn't expect it. I was like, oh my god, this is so cute. I think this is pretty special that she made this, got this made. And I can just put it on my desk, so I need to give it a nice spot still. But yeah, that was my advent. Also, when we exchanged advents, I think I haven't spoke to you quite a while on YouTube. As I said, Claudia, my friend, is getting rid of some yarn. And she had some yarn. If you follow her, you might have seen this yarn once. She had some drops yarn in Puna, in a dark gray. And she just realized she didn't really like it. Didn't make her happy. And she asked one of us if one of us wanted to have it. And I was like, well, maybe it will be nice. Maybe a sweater for myself, for my boyfriend, or maybe my mom. The next one for her. So it is this drops Puna. And this is so soft, by the way. I have seen this yarn, but it never really stuck or something. It's getting really dark, by the way. I'm sorry about that. It's really rainy today. It is made of, oh yeah, 100% alpaca. Yeah, drops Puna, natural mix, it says. I think it feels like a superwash, but I'm not sure. It's a DK weight. It is 100 grams, 220 meters. Yeah, 50 gram, 110 meters. But I think it is really nice. And she also had this drops brushed alpaca silk. What I talked about. I would never hold a double, but I think it will be nice to hold it with something together. And I think these will go pretty nicely together. So I'm thinking about maybe like a big oversized v-neck sweater. Like a drop shoulder v-neck. Just a really cozy sweater. So something like that, or maybe a cardigan even. It will make for about a worsted weight, I think, because the drops brushed alpaca silk is definitely thicker than a kid silk. So that will be really nice. It will be like a little bit of a quick knit. Maybe I would just hold this together, only this. It could also be like a salty day sweater. Yeah, did I just switch? No, I think I said before I talked about the Kutova Kika sweater. Yeah, the articulate, I did say it right in the beginning. Maybe a salty days, but I think it will stretch a bit too much. But I do feel like you would have to hold these together still. It might be fun. I do want to be cautious about using superwash yarn for like textured knits. But I think this might work because of the drops brushed alpaca silk too. It will hold it a bit more together maybe, but it's also fully alpaca, so it's gonna stretch a ton. I'm not sure yet, but I got like a full bag. There's definitely a sweater quality of the yarn in here, for sure. And I have about 5 skeins of the brushed alpaca silk. But if I need more, I can just buy some more. I think the color change won't be too bad probably. So that's something that will be fun eventually. It's not on my top list because the next cast on will probably be for the sample sweater. And of course I still have the Leon sweater laying here and the zipper sweater like man. Yeah, that one. A lot of it. But yeah, those were all my whips. We always go into a little bit of knitting. No, we already have been going into knitting. Into reading, watching, listening, watching, reading. I haven't done this in a while. I feel it. Let me just see. Watching. So I'm a big movies and series fan. One of the reasons, of course, why the next collection is based on the series. And we have been watching a ton, but I don't remember everything, of course. We have watched on Netflix. It is a Swedish thriller. I'm hoping to be able to pronounce this correctly. En held van de familie. I think it translates to just a normal family or something along that way. And it was really good. I really recommend it. I wanted to say I'm not a big fan of things that are not in English. I don't watch Dutch like fiction at all. It's too bad. It's horrible in my opinion a lot of the times. Don't hate me. Not a fan. But I love a good English show. But I do also love a good Scandinavian show, or maybe German. One of my favorite shows is Dark. It is a German show. It's so good. It's so well written. But this one was also really good. So we love like a Swedish thriller or something along those lines. It's a mini series. I think it has 6 or 8 episodes, and I really recommend it. Can be a bit intense though, so check trigger warnings. Other things I've watched a ton of Christmas movies already. I think probably like 6. Some really bad ones, but my standard for Christmas movies is really low. Not for normal movies, but for Christmas movies it is. I think it's just the comfort of knowing what will happen and it will always turn out right, and it's just really easy to follow the line of the story. It's always the same, but somehow it has a special place in my heart. I don't know, I don't remember even what I've watched, but we have watched The Grinch in the Clubhouse. That's a better quality Christmas movie, I think. The original one from 2000 with Jim Carrey, and it was a lot of fun. We had a movie night this week. So yeah, and we're probably going to be watching like a Christmas movie on Christmas Eve, and I'm not sure which one. Probably a classic, maybe something along the lines of Home Alone, which I haven't seen in many years. I introduced my boyfriend to Elf last year, which is one of my favorite Christmas movies too. But it's fun to watch something different, so not sure yet what we're going to be watching. Another movie that we watched is Predestination. I think it was on Netflix, I'm pretty sure. Or at least where I live, it's on Netflix. I think it's a little bit older, as in maybe 5 years old or something, so not super old. And it started out a little bit weak. I was like, oh, this is a really low budget movie. But this is definitely worth a watch. This movie, oh my god, it's a short movie, so we didn't expect a lot from it. But it is mind-boggling. I definitely recommend it. Definitely recommend to watch it if you want to watch like a little bit of a shorter movie, but still interesting, good storyline, and that you're like, what? That's what happened, so recommend. Reading. Let me just first say what I have read, what I have finished. Last time I was listening to None of This Is True, which is a bit of a suspense thriller audio book, or it's a book, but I listened to the audio version. And I give it 4 stars. I think it was pretty good. It was, I don't know. I listen to these most of the times when I'm dyeing yarn, or maybe when I'm walking outside, but mostly dyeing yarn. And I do realize that the heavier books put me in a little bit of a sadder mood or something. So it's a good book though. It's definitely good. I definitely recommend it if you like thriller, true crime, kind of. It's also a podcast true crime version thing, kind of. I don't know. It was pretty good. The audiobook was fun because, as I said, it is about a podcast. I'm not good at explaining this. There's a woman who makes a podcast about women, just general in life. So maybe women that achieved a lot of big things. Just general. I don't remember them a lot anymore. And there's one woman who wants to share her story on her podcast. And that one woman actually, a lot of crazy things happen. And it's a good one, definitely a good one. But after that one I was like, okay, I need something a little bit lighter, you know? It's not making me that happy. And then I start the Book Eaters. That was definitely not lighter. It's a good book though. I just wanted something a little bit more fantasy wise, which it definitely was. But I wasn't the biggest fan. I think it was fine. I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. It was fine. I wasn't the biggest fan. It took me a little while to get through. I think it took me a month or something, maybe 3-4 weeks, which normally I finish an audiobook in like a week or 2, max 2. I started a new audiobook. I'm almost finished and it's so cute. So as I said, I wanted something a little bit more light, so I started something a little bit more light. I started the Christmas Bookshop. I'm not saying any of the authors actually. I don't know them on top of my head. But the Christmas Bookshop, I think it's quite a classic, or not a classic, it's a bestseller, or has been a bestseller. A New York Times bestseller. So it says something like that. And it's really cute. I am really enjoying it. My friend Jasmine actually was listening to it and was like, oh well, I will just start it too. Why not? You see that we influence each other a ton. But I think I have an hour and a half left and it's just cozy. It's just a Christmas rom-com in a book. So if you want to start something still, when you see that it's almost already Christmas, maybe you have some time during Christmas. You need some time, you have some time to kill. I recommend it. It's cute, it's fun. I like it. Then I am now reading also still ACOTAR. So I have read the whole series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like all the books that are out, I've read them all and I love it. I read it about 2 years ago. 2 summers ago actually. Yeah. And I just really felt like a reread. Ever since I finished it, I was like, I want to start again. I think a lot of people have this. So I started again, but I'm going through it really slowly. I'm mostly listening to audiobooks right now. I don't have a lot of time to read like physical books. I'm reading on my e-reader though. But it's just, I'm enjoying it so much. I'm still the first book and I do look at it differently now. Definitely. But yeah, it's just, I love this series. It got me back into reading, got me into fantasy. I'm just a big fan. Yeah. I am one of those people who actually thinks ACOTAR is better than Throne of Glass. Don't hate me. I couldn't finish it, Throne of Glass. I'm at the tandem read and I just put it down and maybe I'll pick it up. I'll probably will pick it up maybe next summer or something when I'm on vacation. I also read a lot on vacation. But yeah, ACOTAR is just my baby. It's my favorite. I love Rise. I don't know how you say it. It's good. Something else we're going to be reading in the clubhouse. We also have a book club. Is How to Win the, How to Lose. This is How to Lose the Time War. Yeah. I have never heard of the book. What we do is we put some books in that everyone wants to read. And Amanda arranges this in the clubhouse and she just made, I think she made like a Ravelry and just a few of those books got in. And then every single time when we read one, a new book goes into the list that we can pick from. That we can vote on actually. And this one came out of it. It's a fantasy science fiction, I think. It's our first fiction book that we are going to be reading in the clubhouse, in the book club. So I'm really excited for it. It's a bit of a shorter book. I still haven't gotten the book. We already started. So we actually are going to, as in recap the first few chapters on Friday, which is yesterday for you. But you can still join us there. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. Maybe some last news thingies. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to say this, but in my advent I also got these stitch stoppers. I hope it's gonna focus. It's really tiny, of course, to show. Yeah, now you can see them. Those tulip stitch stoppers, they are beautiful and really cool. Love them. Last news, the Clubhouse, we have also something new coming in the club. So the book club is quite a new concept of one of the members, and another member came to me, Sharon, and she's going to start the classroom from January on. I still have to reply to your comment or your message, by the way. Probably have done that by now, but if not, please message me back. We're going to start the classroom. It's something she really wanted to start, and where she will be learning us or teaching us some new techniques, knitting and crochet related. So it's super fun. It's just really fun to see how the clubhouse is expanding to be literally what it says, to be a clubhouse with different clubs and different things. So yeah, if you want to have some more information about the clubhouse and everything, just send me a message or anything. I'll put a link below if you want to become a member. It's just a really good time. It's really fun. I love it there. I'm just gonna check if I'm forgetting anything, because I feel like I am forgetting something, but I don't know what yet. Let me just see. I put something in news. Maybe make along? Yeah, our next make along. We are now working on the December wrap up, or the finish it up. I don't even know the name on top of my head. I don't know how. And on January we are going to cast on something new. And then February, March we'll do a bigger 2-monthly make along. So we finished the gifted mall. There was a mall from October to November. And we were working on gift knits, so we will be earlier. Gift crochets, by the way, too. So we will be done before December. Not everyone of us is still done, but it was nice to already start early. And then in February, March, we're going to do another big 2-monthly make along with giveaways and everything on top of that. So that's a lot of fun. Do I have something else to share? I'm really looking forward to Christmas. Plans for Christmas, we have a lot of plans. We visit my parents. My boyfriend's parents are separated, so we have multiple places we are going to be at. He has a really nice family though, so it's always a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So Christmas Eve is with the two of us together. Then we're going to do Christmas Day, like first Christmas Day for us. We are visiting his mother, his sister, and his aunt is coming. Then for like the afternoon we're going to my parents, have dinner there, sleep over, have breakfast, and then the second Christmas Day we have 2 Christmas Day. I think they want to sell more stuff, probably. It's a commercial thing, of course, by now. Second Christmas Day we are going to up north in the country to visit his grandparents with his father and his wife, and I think his aunt and uncle, maybe his nieces are coming too. We'll pick up my sister-in-law again. It's a fun time. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really feeling really blessed with my in-laws too. Just to be able to have such a good time at Christmas, because I can imagine it can be a difficult time for some people. So I'm thinking of you if Christmas is a little bit more of a difficult time. Sending you a lot of love, and I hope you'll just be able to celebrate in any kind of way if you celebrate, of course. So yeah, that's kind of it. One last thing, maybe if you're still here, you might be interested in hearing this live thingy. I finally delivered my capstone, so I have my deadline at the 12th of December. One of the reasons why I haven't been posting as much, because a lot of my time went into that. So I finally delivered. I will hear the 19th of January if I'm allowed to go up for my oral exam. And then the 24th of January I have my oral exam. So that's really short on each other. But it's exciting. I'm a little nervous about it. I thought I would get my results on 19th of December, so I was a little mixed up. But yeah, that's something that happened, and we'll see. Now I have to take on a job for maximum 3 days, so I'm still looking for something. I have some things on my mind that I want to send some letters out to. But yeah, we'll see. Your girl needs to pay some bills, and it's not enough yet to pay some bills with TMC. But that's the goal eventually, to have it within a year, to pay everything, to live off TMC. Very TMI. If you're still here, you probably are interested in hearing that, or maybe not. I don't know. Let me know. I'm gonna close it up for today. I want to thank you so much for being here, to joining me today, listening to me scrambling along, and I hope you had a lot of knitting and crochet time. Let me know what you're making. I always love to chat in the comments. So I'll see you next time, and have a lovely Christmas if you're celebrating. Otherwise, just have a lovely weekend. Enjoy. That was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye, creator!